hey, wanted to run through kind of my crystal ball. I hate doing market forecasts because you know what? We never know what's going to happen, but I'm going to give it my best shot. Today, I want to give you a few updates on what we're seeing happen in the market. What I think is going to happen with inventory this year, what's going to happen with rates this year, what this means for you as a buyer and a seller. We're going to dig right in and take a look at some things that might affect you if you're thinking about buying or selling a home this year. So first, let's talk about inventory. So I expect that we're going to see more homes come to the market this year than we've seen the last couple of years. A large part of that, I think, is because of the waiters. No, not the people at the restaurant, the waiters, the people that have been waiting, here at the end of 2022 and 2023, when rates first kind of spiked up, a bunch of sellers said, I'm going to wait and see. And then we came right off of that into an election year. Oh, I'm going to wait and see. So now that we're kind of past, rates are what they are, elections behind us, I think we're going to have some folks who have been maybe on the fence about selling over the past couple of years. They're going to decide now is the time. Let's go ahead and get our home on the market. So that is going to bring some more inventory to the market. Now, it's not going to bring a ton of inventory because we still have the lock-in effect. So you've heard me talk about that before. Still very much true today. That is the homeowners that are sitting in their home. They might like the idea of moving to maybe a little bigger home. Maybe their family's growing, a little more space would be nice. They don't have to have it, but it would be nice. But the problem is they have a current mortgage, with a 2 or 3% rate, and selling that home, buying a more expensive home with a rate in the 6s or 7s, just financially is too big of a swing for them. So that lock-in effect is still going to keep many folks in their home, but I do expect that we're going to see more inventory this year than we've seen the last couple of years. The second thing is rates. Okay, so rates right now are running about 7% for a 30-year mortgage. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say I don't expect to see any significant change on that this year, at least not throughout the spring market. Maybe as we get into the second half of the year, but as you all know, mortgage rates, the economy, that is all a very complicated thing. So my best guess from the people that I kind of read and listen to is they're probably going to be about the same. Maybe we'll see a little bit of a downtick here towards the end of the year, maybe a half point or something, but we're not going to see rates take any big drops down. So buyer activity. So buyers have realized that rates are not going back to the 4s. Okay. So buyers have decided, hey, if we want to get into the game of home ownership, it's our time. We got to pull the trigger, right? Prices are what prices are. Rates are what rates are. Let's work the numbers. If it makes sense, then let's buy. One thing I want to talk to buyers about is be careful of the concept of, there was a lot of mortgage lenders talking about this concept the last year or two, marry the house, date the rate, right? Like you can always, refi to a lower rate later. My caution in that is you better be comfortable dating that rate because you might be in a long-term dating relationship, right? If we don't see rates drop anything significant in the next couple of years, you're going to be there, right? So just make sure you're comfortable with that relationship, for lack of a better term. Also, buyers, the market is still competitive. I was just looking at some numbers here, and for Southeast King County, about 30% of the homes that have come on the market this year, okay, in the last 3.5 weeks, about 30% of those homes have sold with multiple offers. So you're still going to be competing. I don't expect that we're going to see the competing in prices in the same way that we did back a few years ago when rates were so low, money was cheap. It was easy for buyers to keep bidding higher because you could go 30,000 higher and it'd be $100 a month or whatever, right? It was really cheap. Well, now with rates higher, they don't have that ability. So I think it's going to be competitive, but I don't know we're going to see a bunch of bidding wars getting out of control. But we'll see. So what does this mean for sellers? Well, if you're thinking about selling your home this year, I would suggest looking at getting your home on the market sooner rather than later. What I'm guessing might happen this year, and we've seen the last couple of years, is once we get past about the Memorial Day weekend holiday, we see a significant slowdown in buyer activity. So if you have the option to be on the market sooner than that, I would definitely recommend that. The other thing is, because there's going to be more homes coming to the market, you want to make sure that your house shows well inside and out and that it's priced appropriately. You're going to have more competition out there to compete with, so you got to make sure your house is looking good. Well, what does this mean for buyers? Well, like we talked, rates are what rates are. If getting into home ownership is for you, now might be a great time. The other thing to be thinking about as a buyer is many of you have heard there was a lot of changes this last year with the NAR settlement, and you may need to make sure you have some money set aside to help pay for your agent's compensation in the event that the seller is not willing to offer anything. There'll be more on that coming in another video, so stay tuned. Bottom line, I expect this to be a busier real estate market this year than we've seen in the last couple of years. Real estate is cyclical, right? And we're getting back to a more normal market. We had the craziness of during COVID. We had a little bit of a slowdown there for a couple of years after COVID, and now we're getting back to a normal real estate market. I've been doing this 23 years now, so we've seen a few of these cycles. And the bottom line is sellers still need to sell their homes, buyers still want to buy homes, and we can help you accomplish those housing goals. So let us know how we can help you this year as we go into 2025, accomplish your housing goals. Have a great day. Talk to you later.